I am James, but forget my face for a moment and look at the face of the man who lost $32 billion in a single week. Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF as the world knew him, was hailed by the media as the next Warren Buffett and the savior of the crypto universe. He slept on beanbags in his office, drove a humble Toyota Corolla, and promised to give all his vast wealth to charity. But behind this carefully crafted humble image was a lie that would destroy the lives of millions of investors. This is the story of FTX and how the world's second largest crypto exchange was actually a house of cards built on deception. To understand the crash, we must understand the rise. SBF wasn't just a random guy. He was an MIT physics graduate and a math genius who started his career at Jane Street Capital. In 2017, he discovered the kimchi premium, a phenomenon where Bitcoin was significantly more expensive in Japan than in the US. And by buying in the US and selling in Japan, he made millions in risk-free arbitrage profit. With this initial fortune, he founded Alameda Research, a quantitative trading firm, but he realized the real money wasn't in trading but in owning the casino itself. So in 2019, he launched FTX, an exchange built by traders for traders. It was faster, sleeker, and offered complex options that other exchanges didn't have, causing investors like Sequoia Capital and BlackRock to flock to him with billions of dollars. By 2021, FTX was everywhere. They bought the naming rights to the Miami Heat Arena for $135 million, paid Tom Brady and Gisele millions to be brand ambassadors, and even ran a Super Bowl ad with Larry David telling people not to miss out. SBF became a celebrity who testified before Congress advising on crypto regulations and donated millions to politicians, becoming the second largest donor to the Democratic Party under the philosophy of effective altruism. It was the perfect shield because who would suspect a philanthropist of stealing billions? However, while the world watched the marketing machine, a dark secret was growing in the shadows because the relationship between FTX the exchange and Alameda Research the hedge fund was strictly illegal. Normally, an exchange holds customer money one-to-one, meaning if you deposit $10, they keep $10, but Alameda Research was losing money on bad bets and needed cash desperately. SBF secretly ordered his engineers to change the code of FTX, creating a backdoor that allowed Alameda to borrow unlimited funds from FTX customers without anyone knowing. They took your money billions of dollars and gambled it on risky crypto tokens, while also using customer funds to buy over $300 million worth of luxury real estate in the Bahamas, where SBF and his inner circle lived in a $40 million penthouse. It was a complete lack of corporate controls with no board of directors and expenses approved by mere emojis on Slack. It was essentially a frat house running a $32 billion company. The biggest problem was that their assets were mostly their own token, EFT, which they printed out of thin air, gave a high artificial value, and used as collateral to borrow real money from other lenders. This scheme works only as long as the price of EFT remains high, but the beginning of the end came on November 2, 2022. When CoinDesk leaked a balance sheet showing Alameda was heavily dependent on these illiquid EFT tokens, the market realized the emperor had no clothes and FTX didn't have real money. But the final blow came on November 6 when CZ, the CEO of Binance and FC's biggest rival, tweeted that he was selling all his EFT holdings. This triggered a massive panic where everyone wanted to sell EFT at the same time, crashing the price and starting a bank run where customers rushed to withdraw their funds. $6 billion was withdrawn in just 72 hours, and although SBF tweeted FTX is fine, assets are fine, he was lying because the money was gone. On November 8, withdrawals were paused and billions of dollars in customer savings evaporated instantly, leading FTX to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on November 11. The aftermath was brutal. SBF was arrested in the Bahamas in December 2022 and extradited to the US to face trial for one of the biggest financial frauds in history. His defense was that he simply made mistakes and didn't intend to steal, but his friends turned on him, including Caroline Ellison, the CEO of Alameda, and his ex-girlfriend, who testified that SBF directed every crime and knew exactly what he was doing. The jury didn't buy his story, finding him guilty on all 7 counts of fraud. And in March 2024, Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison and ordered to forfeit $11 billion. The crypto king had fallen, but the FTX collapse wasn't just about crypto. It was about trust. It reminds us of Charles Ponzi, different technology, same old greed. The lesson for every investor is the simple mantra: not your keys, not your crypto. If you leave your money on an exchange, you are trusting a stranger with your life savings, so don't be blinded by celebrity endorsements or Super Bowl ads. SBF is in jail, but the next fraudster is already out there waiting for the next bull run. So stay safe, stay skeptical, and always do your own research. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like and subscribe for more financial history. I am James, and I'll see you in the next video.